Hey guys, welcome back, or if it's your first time, hi. So it's Saturday. It's been, I think, exactly a week since my last video. I'm doing this now because I'm getting ready to prune a lot of tomato plants and I'm getting rid of a lot of the water leaves. And so before I do that, I wanted to show you how pretty it is. So everything's getting pretty tall. Everything's so much happier on the new watering schedule. That's an asparagus bed, by the way. So, got beans. Talked to a neighbor and he recommended a product for that. He said it's a fungus. So, if you have curly leaves like this, it's possibly a fungus. So, he recommended some triple action something or other. If you need the name of it, just comment below and I will get that for you. Hey. That doesn't belong there. I missed it. So this is a bean. It's either a pole or a runner. They both like to take off. So I will put it on a pole here in a little bit. Okay, so my yellow pear is 3.5 feet tall. Tomatoes, carrots, more beans, a squash plant, which is somehow getting taken over by beans. That's kind of funny. Different types of eggplant. Okra is kind of slacking. I had to put CDs up because I found birds in my garden. Oh, Triple Action Plus is what he recommended. So I sprayed that on just the beans so that it's also a miticide and it kills bugs as well. So, and a fungicide. Tallest tomato plant currently is this one. It is standing almost 5 feet tall. Hot peppers. So, I had some yellowing leaves and they've actually gotten a little better. I'm going to do it again. But the neighbor also told me I needed to get urea. So I put it underneath my bubblers. And this is my second time doing it. And they're greening up. This is what I bought at Rail City Garden Center here in Reno. Actually, it's in Sparks. So because a lot of my leaves were yellowing, I went ahead and tried it, and a lot of them were actually a lot happier already. So I did that under the bubblers that were having issues, or the plants that were having issues. I put it in the bubblers next to them. And I'll give you a little panoramic view of this. So you can see everything's getting pretty tall. My beans have red flowers. How pretty are these? I just think they're so cute and pretty. I've been and I also sprayed a little bit of stuff on these, but not very much because I had just put a frog underneath. So tonight when it gets dark, I'll come out and do that again. Fava beans do not like heat. He confirmed that. So he said maybe a little more shade. So I went ahead and put more remesh up here. And I found a sheet at the thrift store that I threw up here. So when the sun gets a little higher, it should be a little better protected. So beans are doing pretty good. And then check out these little runner beans. Yeah. So to give you an idea, this is about 6 feet. Maybe 6'2". And then we have another, what are these, 5-inch? Yeah, they're 5-inch. So there you go. They're 10 inches past 6 feet. So it's almost 7 feet long. Squashes. And look at the squashes. They're going insane. Watermelon. This is my first year. I feel like I'm actually going to have a successful year with watermelons. This will be my first successful year. And then this is that tallest tomato plant, and it does have babies. Oh, speaking of babies, look what I found. My first pickle. Do you see it? There's my first pickle. I should say my first pickling cucumber, but you know, it's gonna be a pickle, so let's just call it what it is, right? So again, 6 feet. all the way to there. And the same with the Hubbard. The Hubbard is going nuts. I came through and thinned out a lot of the big leaves because it was requiring a lot of water. And I couldn't see what was going on under here. I actually just hand pollinated that flower right there. That is a female flower. And if you don't know the difference, see the fruit behind it? That thing right there, that's the fruit. So I took a male flower off the same plant, which does not have a fruit, pulled the flower buds back and stuck it in there. So that one should be pollinated enough to actually give me fruit. We'll find out hopefully by next tour. Yeah, you can go that way. I'll let you sit on top. Okay, sorry about that. So I've been training everything vertically that's long because you can see how much ground space this would take, and I honestly just don't want this is going to end up being covered in plastic before the first frost. So I didn't want to have everything going and spilling out. But, so this is the new garden. This is this year's garden. Sweet peppers are getting some flowers. Nasturtiums. I definitely need to integrate more flowers next year. But there you have it. There's garden number 1. So now we're over by garden. So the other garden's technically the second garden. This is part of the first garden. This got added last year before I was doing pots. And so I misspoke. I thought that this was a celery because of the way it felt. It's actually, these are seeded carrots. So I should have some carrot seeds based on this one pretty quick. So you can see all the little pom-poms. Those pom-poms are onions, and these beautiful purples are radishes. And I should be getting seeds out of these seed pods as soon as they die off. My first official herb garden. And then on my little potting table, some stuff that bloomed late that I went ahead and let continue. Another squash plant. And I actually up-potted that. It'll end up in a bigger pot later. Rail City Garden Center here in Reno was having, or Sparks was having a sale. All peppers and tomatoes are $1. And I couldn't help myself. So now I got to figure out where they're going. Because I already had plenty of my own to figure out where they were going to go. But these are all ones that I didn't have. So it's okay, right? So back in the greenhouse, I was trying out some new stuff. And none of it's working. So definitely investing in some heat mats next year. I saw the ones at Walmart. They were $25 and they're $10 and $12 on Amazon. So that's where I plan on getting them. I still have some onions going in here. I did finally add dirt to my potatoes. And I found aphids on that one. So I'm going to have to spray that one. And then more strawberries, some Brussels sprouts. I need to go through and check them for worms. This tower, I think, pretty soon is going to end up having, it's going to get moved outside, and I think it's going to end up with greens at some point. And this is a garden tower, not a tower garden. And the cool thing about it is it spins. It's on its own bearing system. Compost goes down the middle. That drawer down there holds water, catches the water, so it all gets cycled through. And that handle right there is what lets the compost drop into the bowl so you can stick it on top. So it's all a self-sustaining system. It's actually really neat. And now we are in garden 1.5. And I say 1.5 because this is the shady garden. It used to be much smaller. And 3 years ago, it was in full and direct sun, more over on the other side of the chicken coop. So now, I also put the urea over here at his recommendation because my leaves were all super sad. And they've already totally greened up. They're so much darker in their green color. So they're a lot happier with that. Those plants that are on the table are probably going to end up here in these two. I'm gonna add some good dirt and run a drip off of that line right there. And so to give you the full effect, and that sunflower is quite tall. It's about over 5 feet tall. So, okay, so here's the rundown. This is mainly a squash area. This is peas, different types of peas. And I did put some urea over here, and I got new leaves in less than a day. So I would call that a win. So I am lacking nitrogen in this particular garden, and I have a lot of changes to make. Sorry about that. My neighbor's son-in-law has a horribly behaved dog, and it charges my fence. And of course, my 3 big dogs, that dog's the size of my dog's head. And so it's not going to go well, but that dog hasn't quite figured that out because it's protected by a fence. So anyways, back to how green these leaves are. That was just one little bloop of pellets underneath the bubblers, and they're doing pretty good. I mean, I even have flowers on that. I did not have flowers on that 3 days ago. So I'm going to come out and do it again probably tomorrow, because these all got, the drip already came through today. So I'm dripping 4 days a week for 50 minutes in the mornings. And corn, he said the corn was also needing it, and so I went ahead and put it under a few bubblers to test it out, and look how much happier those are, and look how sad the middle ones are. So he was right. He wins. Urea for the win, right? So squashes are all greening up. These ones are much happier with the extra nitrogen. I think the chicken poop that we get from the chickens is just going to end up totally modifying. Look, I actually have bees in the lavender. Yay! I have pollinators. Okay, I was stressing out about pollinators. I definitely am still stressing out in the other garden, but I'm less stressed about this one. So, woohoo! We have pollinators. So we have squashes. Like I said, I did go ahead and put the urea in this bed as well under a couple bubblers, especially around that bubbler there. And I don't think I put any near that one, and I think I can see the difference. Like, do you guys see the color difference in the leaves? So I'll come out and put more urea tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll be, the next time the bubblers go, it should be beautiful. I mean, look how many flowers I have. I did not have this many flowers yesterday. So this is just pretty. Well, that's the end of this. Hopefully, oh, it is shorter. Yay me. Okay, so there's the garden. There's the update. It's getting super hot already. I don't know what the temp is, but I think it's time for me to go inside and have a popsicle at 9:42 a.m. So have a good one. Thanks for stopping by.